Today we're going to make things. We're going to make three-dimensional objects, creatures, what have you, but we're going to start with them being flat. When I think of something I want to build, I do a plan first. It starts in my head, and then I get it down on paper, and it gives me an idea to think about it and try to plan it out, and then I make it. So we'll talk about my elephant here. All right? The first thing I did was start thinking about, okay, what's an elephant, right? You got 4 legs. I think of them being pretty long. And then you've got the head. You have tusks. You have a tail. You have a trunk. And so there is my abstract kind of structural idea of the elephant. All right, so in order to make him, you know, you can see he isn't like sculpted out of clay or anything, but he's made out of pens and paper. And I thought what I'd do is take him apart. So you can see the structural elements underneath, which is the thing that kind of gives him the three-dimensional look. So this is going to be like going to the Museum of Natural History and seeing the mastodon skeleton on view. We'll let him keep his feet. But you can see that I've just made the structure, and I've used these pens. They clip together. So there's a leg. And they also have these extra clips that you can put it like that and fold them around. And so you can kind of construct them, use them not only to draw with, but to construct them. So that's part of the whole process. I had to engineer. I had to think of first what I wanted to do, and then figure out how to make it and how to engineer it. So it's kind of pushing my creative imagination into engineering and other aspects. So when you look at the head, I have some examples of the head. And usually when I start off, I just use maybe some scrap paper, a little thinner paper, and I try things out. And I kind of cut them out, and I put them on, and it either works or it doesn't work. And so this one worked pretty good, but not quite. So I came up with model number 2, and he was even closer. And then I finally came up with model number 3, and I was able to draw him and then cut him out and paste them together after I colored him, and that's how I ended up with that one. Now this is a template that I came up with that would work for the feet. And these templates, if you'd like to make your own elephant, they'll be on our website. But I figured out how to make a piece of paper that I could cut out and form an elephant leg. And that's the way that one was done. Over here, for this particular one, I just started with a couple of drawings. I knew I wanted to do another elephant, trying to keep the theme going here, and a fish popping out. And so I made these out of artist board. There's a black artist board that you can use, and use the watercolors on top of it and came up with my forms, and then figured out how I was going to structure it so that it had a three-dimensional space. The form, this is more of a three-dimensional form. This is more about the three-dimensional space where I have those flats. All right, so here's one thing that's a little bit simpler. It's a way to make a cube out of a flat piece of paper. And so a cube has 6 different sides to it. And these blue little extra pieces are tabs. They're going to be the glue tabs because I want to put this thing together. And so with a pair of scissors, you can cut that out. And I'm going to pop it out because I've already cut it. And then I will take my adhesive, and I'm just going to go right over those tabs. All right, so I'm going to start with something flat. And I fold that, and I'm going to fold that, and I'm going to fold that, and I'm going to fold that. And align those pieces together. You could also use regular glue, but you'll have to hold it a little bit. Yep, you know what? I'll tell you what, I put it on the wrong side. I should have planned this out. There's where I wanted it. Okay. All right. Now, I will put those together. I will put this together. And I will fold this one and get that one together. Fold that one, put that together, and then last one would fold that together. So I start from having a flat piece, and once I get my tabs realigned and on the glue on the proper way, then I'll have a cube. And so I've gone from something flat, engineered it, worked it out, put it together, and now I have a three-dimensional object. And so that's something you can think about as well, how to go from 2 dimensions to 3 dimensions and engage space and create a three-dimensional object. And that is our art tip for today.